Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my review of this week's episode of Penny Dreadful on Showtime. This week we've seen Season 3, Episode 2, which is called Predators Far and Near. And right away I just want to apologize for the lateness of this review. I watched Game of Thrones on Sunday, and I was just trying to... I just got really clustered in with the time I had, and I did watch it the other day with my girlfriend. So I got caught up on Penny Dreadful, and I just want to say that Penny Dreadful is just an amazing series. I've said this before, but it's the quality, general quality, the writing, the dialogue, the acting, the cinematography, the sets, everything about Penny Dreadful is just unique and amazing, and I absolutely love this show. So when I am home on Sundays now, I think Penny Dreadful is actually going to be taking first priority over Game of Thrones for me. As much as I love Game of Thrones, Penny Dreadful, it's just risen above it for me, no question. But again, I apologize for the lateness of this review. And also, I didn't take notes when I was watching with my girlfriend either, because, it just seems weird to watch something with your girlfriend, be writing on a piece of paper off to the side or something. But I did jot down some particular things I wanted to make sure I remembered in the episode. And overall, this is another pretty damn good episode. Another great build-up to what should be a really intense story we're going to be seeing this season. Of course, we're going to be getting 9 episodes this season, by the way. So only 7 left already. Which isn't necessarily a bad indication for where the show's going to go, on the network in the future. It's simply just how much time they felt they needed to tell a story this season. But we've talked about that before. So with watching with my girlfriend, I'm not going to be able to be as in-depth as I usually am, but I still want to get my thoughts out there on the show. I should be back with my usual stuff next week. I am working next Sunday, but I can assure you that I'll try to do better at this in the following weeks going forward with the season. But I really did enjoy this episode. We had a lot going on with Vanessa and Sweet. Of course, the guy running the exhibit, this whole zoologist thing who we met in the premiere. And there's a lot more going on with him. We'll talk about that in a minute. We also got to check in with Dorian and Lilly again. Which I wasn't overly excited by, to be honest. As good as Penny Dreadful is, Dorian's probably the least interesting character to me. But the stuff with Dorian and Lilly, and particularly Lilly and Victor this week, actually proved to be pretty gripping, I want to say. We also had some important developments with Ethan as he is trying to be transported by those men, along with Sir Malcolm and Kaetenay. I can't pronounce the native's name correctly, but we also had some stuff going on with that. And so it was a pretty good episode, and again, something that's building up to what should be a really good season. But let's actually get into some of the details of the episode instead of just repeating myself over and over, Of course, the Vanessa stuff to me is the most important, with her being the central character and stuff, so we can start with that. She visits Dr. Seward again, and she actually ends up telling her everything, We don't see all the lines of all the details of her telling her all the stories in season 1 and stuff. But by the end of it, we cut back to them. We see Vanessa. She's just completely in tears and broken down over describing all that she's been through again. And we see Dr. Seward actually crack a little bit, And she tries, when Vanessa leaves, she tries to maintain her stern, okay, we're going to do this next time and you're going to do that. She tries to maintain that composure, but when we see Vanessa leave, we see Dr. Seward. She's really starting to almost crack over it too, and she's really starting to care and worry about it, I think. Which is good to see that more human side to Dr. Seward. She is a human as far as we know, but still is good to see her start to invest a little more in Vanessa personally, perhaps. And also, Vanessa was uncomfortable with it initially because it was being recorded. Dr. Seward keeps that for her own personal confidential records. But of course, with Renfield, the secretary outside, that's going to be really easy for him to listen to and report back to Dracula. So that's just like the worst possible thing for it. And Renfield this week, you can really tell there's something more off about him. He tries to maintain his more chipper attitude that he had previously, but at the same time, you can tell he's fidgeting a lot more. He's a lot more nervous. So I don't think it can be too long before he's found out by Vanessa or someone else, maybe. I don't know. I am worried about Dr. Seward getting caught in this crossfire, though, because she's like right in between it now. I don't really know. But again, just great acting from Eva Green here. Even the brief parts we've seen her talk about, just to see her again in tears, really emotional. Eva Green's just an excellent actress, and this is definitely a career-defining role for her, no question. Definitely deserves all the Emmys in the world, whether she gets nominated or not. And we'll talk more about Vanessa and Dr. Sweet a little bit more towards the end of the review, because there's more of the climactic part where we end up finding out with that. But we had, like I said, we had Dorian and Lilly. They go off, I don't know exactly what to call it, but basically it's this group of people that were just sitting there enjoying like this molesting and torture and likely potential rape of this young woman. They're just sitting around in a circle, which is really creepy. The singer be degraded, and then we see this girl. She actually fights back a little bit. She slaps one of the guys, and Dorian and Lilly sort of give each other a look like, okay, she has some strength or something in her that wants to go above that and fight back. And then we actually got a pretty cool sequence, I'll admit. Dorian firing off his gun, some pretty pretty slick shots, some overhead almost like dance-like moves as he was shooting. Then we had Lilly, just cutting through everyone with a knife. That was pretty cool. And then basically Dorian and Lilly take this girl in. They're probably gonna make her, another one of them. Lilly probably sees it as part of this movement she's trying to do. Putting women above men, or like because of her mentality now, she needs to make these people into the superior beings. As she talked all about to, saying, I almost was talking about Lunder for a second, as she talked to about Mr. Clare, or the creature, towards the end of last season. It's definitely part of that movement, and it looks like Dorian's going to become more interested in her as it goes along. Then we see, Lilly kiss her and stuff like that, which just comes off as awkward, but it's a part of them forming a bond together, and that stuff is alright. I did like that whole sequence there of them rescuing her in a way, and I'm not sure what's going to become of Dorian and Lilly. Are they going to become more like the antagonist, or what? That's the idea a lot of people had. That's the idea that I had if it wasn't for this next scene with Victor. At least with the Lilly side of things, this made me question it a little bit more again. But before we get to that, as far as Victor goes, he also spent more time with Dr. Jekyll this week. And some people are saying the Dr. Jekyll stuff is a little bit weak right now, or flat. I don't want to say it's that bad yet, but it has a lot of untapped potential, and I think it's going to get really good because we're mixing in Dracula now. What's going on with Ethan, the Wolfman, the whole Hecate thing, and now we have Mr. Hyde in the mix eventually somewhere. So I think it's going to really pay off. And I do think the dialogue between Dr. Jekyll and Victor is just as well written as the rest of the show is. Dr. Jekyll ends up taking Victor to his laboratory. We see where he works, basically treating these just mentally insane people. They're on chains all over the place, and basically, apparently, Dr. Jekyll is responsible for sedating them or keeping them under wraps, and even starving them if they really care that little about him, I guess. And this laboratory looks pretty cool. Um, and basically, Victor wants to use this. He basically wants to bring Lilly to this room to treat her, sort of bring that side of her out again that I seen initially when he created her from Brona. So Victor just questions how he's going to get Lilly in that room. And then we see Victor, he goes to where Lily's staying late at night, and Lily sees him from the window. And Lily comes out there, and really good acting from Harry Treadaway there, who plays Victor. He's always done a really good job. He's good just sitting on that bench in that scene. Again, you can just see the emotion in the eyes and stuff, just really well portrayed. Lily basically tells him, to give up on her, and to just, leave, and she's his first love, he'll recover. Basically saying there's nothing there for him anymore. But I still think Victor's going to try and find a way to lure her there. And it's interesting for Lily, as I said, because, she's on this this vendetta to do what she's doing with the girl and others and stuff. But at the same time, it does seem like part of her still cares about Victor in a legitimate way, maybe. I don't know. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with it. But I do think somehow Lily's going to get put into that room. But we'll see how that goes. We also had a good amount going on with Ethan this week. Kaetenay, I don't know, I doubt I'm pronouncing that correctly, but Ethan basically ends up having this vision or communication with him as Kaetenay tries to get in contact with him, in this whole Native American ritual type thing with Sir Malcolm, and they actually end up talking in this world. And it appears that there's far more going on with this relationship between Ethan and Kaetenay than we originally thought. Originally, I just thought it was more like he had a connection to him because he knows what he is, because he's involved with the Native American legends and myths and stuff like that. And I just thought Ethan was responsible for murder. They talk about Ethan's responsible for murdering his people, and he came to him with blood on his mouth and teeth and stuff like that. But it appears that Ethan actually holds something against Kaetenay as well. So there seems to be a lot of hatred Ethan has towards him. Some people think maybe Kaetenay is the one that put a curse on him or something, which would make sense. I'm not sure yet, but there's just a lot more going on with this relationship between the two than I initially thought. So I'm getting more invested in that. So I thought that was all really well done. We see Ethan tackle him in the in the dream world and stuff. So. And we also see Ethan, he ends up turning, of course, a full moon. He does tell a lady to get out of there, and, she says, bless you. And, so that was a good moment to see, Ethan finally getting some credit to him actually being a good man despite all he's forced to go through. But Ethan turns, he kills the guys who are trying to take him to his father. Ethan also does say he wants to meet his father, and they also talked about this other demon that was out there. I'm guessing they meant other werewolves. They said there's some scattered around further on, but they're kind of slowly dying off. But there's still that one out there, and he's not necessarily with the rest of them. I don't know. That's how I got it, but again, I could very well be wrong about it. But Ethan turns, he kills the captors, and a pretty brutal, awesome sequence. I want to say we see him slashing faces and throats. Good amount of blood there. So I enjoy that. Then Hecate even shows up and gives him an assist, killing a guy before he fires at him. The main guy that was bringing him, the guy with the longer black kind of beard. I'm not sure if that was a silver bullet or anything. I doubt they'd be that prepared. Well, then again, maybe they would if they're sent from his father, but I still don't think they'd want to kill him there, even if they knew. Well, and then again, I don't know. But anyway, Hecate helps him out. And I don't know what Hecate's agenda here is, because they see in the promo, she calls him the Wolf of God. I just don't know what her motivation is at this point, but it's going to be interesting to see. Of course, again, enjoy all the Wolfman scenes, it's awesome. I really still like the makeup on it, how it's more of a classic look. I really appreciate that, against what we see in a lot of other shows and movies nowadays, that just like wolves. This is definitely the Wolfman, and I really love that the show went with that type of design. And then back to Vanessa and Sweet. We seen Dr. Seward tell Vanessa to do something to make her happy, even for a little bit, even if it's not temporary, even if it is temporary, which we know it would be with Vanessa, just at the state she's been at for a long time. We see her basically ask out Dr. Sweet, send him a letter, and they meet and they go see, I don't know what to call it, but it's this guy holding this thing, and it's basically creates this animation or cartoon type of thing, which I thought was, you know, kind of neat actually. And they both kind of enjoy it. And then Dr. Sweetie kisses her hand, and he goes off, and then we come back to this room that we seen, or that we heard Dracula in previously, and we see Renfield show up again, and he basically feeds from him, and it looks like Dracula's turning him or something along those lines. And we see that Dracula is in fact Mr. Sweet. You know, that's something that's not overly surprising. You know, a lot of people thought that Sweet was going to end up being Dracula, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be that obvious, and it was a little bit predictable. But at the same time, I don't really have an issue with it, because the guy who plays him was also the Ice Truck Killer on Dexter, if you guys seen that. So it's kind of cool to see him here. I think he'll probably make a pretty good, you know, traditional, sort of intense evil Dracula. And he did have Dracula's charm about him, the way he was sort of, you know, slowly charming and maybe seducing Vanessa. Just the way about him he carried himself, it could be very Dracula-esque. So, you know, I don't really have an issue with him being Dracula. But some people are wondering if there's going to be more to his version, you know, whether, no matter what his agenda is, maybe he does care more than he plans on, or he does have more invested in her other than, you know, his other half does, maybe. I don't know, but either way, it's going to make things very intense. And Vanessa just never catches a break, does she? I really hope Vanessa can be happy at the end of the series, because she more than deserves it. But we probably know it's not going to end up being that happy or that nice at the end. But yeah, so really good setup. It definitely has the makings to potentially be the best season so far. You know, we have a lot of things at play here with what's going on with Ethan. Again, we got Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde in the mix. Dracula, potential Dracula versus Wolfman, maybe. But yeah, it's turning into a really good season already so far. Highly enjoying it. And as much as I love Game of Thrones, Penny Dreadful is going to be taking priority now first. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I apologize for the lateness. I know it probably won't get that many views now, but I still love to talk about it no matter what. Scratch that. It is the best Penny Dreadful is the best damn show out there right now in terms of quality on every end. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and lookforInspoiled.com. Catch you guys next time, and peace.